Welcome to Slack Basics. This is an orientation to the Washtenaw Literacy Tutor Slack Workspace. We're going to walk through some basic features of Slack. We suggest that you try to remember one or two things about the site, but don't feel pressured to remember everything. You'll be able to rewatch this video, and we will provide notes and a cheat sheet as well. The best way to learn is by doing, so we encourage you to jump in and start reading, start responding, and start posting. Slack is a tool and not a required component. You will never be required to use Slack to get essential information. Important information about Washtenaw literacy will always come via emails from staff and from Hello Tutors. Slack is a good place to crowdsource information and resources and to interact with your fellow tutors in a virtual space. Staff reads and sometimes responds to posts, but does not moderate. Everything you see right now is the Slack workspace. The channels here to the left are for navigation. Channels with a hashtag are public channels. Anyone in this workspace can read them. Some channels will have a padlock. These are closed channels for different groups. You can see that some of these channels are in bold, and these channels have new messages. Down here, we can see a channel with a number next to it. This means there is a mention either for me or for the whole channel. When you see a name or the word channel with the @ sign in front of it, that's a mention. Because using @channel will send a notification to all 494 members of this channel, only staff typically uses that feature. Now, while we're here in the channels, let's look at some channel details. We're going to go into the COVID-19 channel and come up to the channel name up here and click on that. We have a description of what the channel is for, and if we scroll down, we can see attachments that have been uploaded to this channel. And if you want to see all of the attachments, you can just click where it says Show More. And then we have a list of all attachments that have been shared to this channel. Let's head over to Fun Chit Chat to talk about posting and replying. It's important to thread replies so that people know what post you're replying to. To thread a reply, hover your mouse over the message, as I'm doing now, and a little bar will pop up to the right. Click on the speech bubble to bring up the reply window. As you can see, the reply window is over here to the right. Be careful not to post your reply down here anyway. If I wanted to respond to this message, but posted my reply down here, it would show up as a new post. It might be clear who I'm responding to because of proximity, but not always. Now let's say I'm going to close this and I'm scrolling through old posts and find one I want to reply to. I click my reply bubble, but then I put my reply down here. What's going to happen is this comment is going to post at the very bottom of the page. Nobody is going to know that I am responding to this message about trivia night. Now that's how to reply. Let's talk about posting. Scroll back down to the bottom, and I'm going to click in the message window and start typing. And you see, as soon as I start typing, the arrow over here turns green. When I click that arrow, that will post the message. I can also hit enter. If you want a line break in your post, you can hold down the Control key and hit enter. If you are on a Mac, you will hit down the command, you'll press the command key and hit enter. Now, if you want to jazz up your post a little, there are some formatting options. I'm going to highlight my text to demonstrate. I can bold text. Now it's darker. I can italicize the text. There are a few other options. I would not recommend strike through because that's just going to make it difficult to read. There is a link If I want to add a hyperlink to my text, I'm going to undo my formatting. And I'm going to add a link to the text. I would paste the link in here, hit save. I'm not adding a link right now, so I'm going to cancel. Now over to the right, we have a few more options. If I hit this @ symbol, I can tag a person in my post. Before tagging someone, however, ask yourself if it's something better shared through a direct message, which we'll get to shortly. To the right of the @ sign, we have the smiley face, so we can include emojis. Emojis are a lot of fun, but also bear in mind that excessive use of emojis can make it hard to read a post. And finally, we have our paperclip to add an attachment. And when I click that, I get a list of recent uploads I can choose from. And I can also upload from Google Drive, OneDrive, or from my computer. If you do share from Google Drive or OneDrive, you will be asked to make sure that your settings are in place so that other people can read it. I can also drag an attachment from my computer to the message window in order to upload. Now, I'm not going to send an attachment with this message, so I am just going to click the green button to send. Now that I've sent my message, let's look at some of the options we now have on the pop-up bar. We've already looked at reply, our little speech bubble here. Some of these are for quick replies. The green check mark acknowledges that you've looked at the post. The eyes show that you are taking a look. You can high five the person who has sent the message. You can also click the smiley to find another reaction. Now I am going to move up here to demonstrate search, because sometimes you just want the smiley, sometimes you want something a little more specific. So I have my video of the otter here, and I am going to look for an otter smiley. There is one, so I can click on that for a reaction, and it's just a fun little acknowledgement that you've seen the post. Now I can share a post by clicking this, and I can either share it to an individual person by I type the @ sign, and it brings up people. I can start typing names to find the person that I want, or if I want to send it to a channel, I click the #, the hashtag, and then I can type the name of the channel. I am not going to share this message, so I will X out of that. I can bookmark a post. This adds it to my saved items. So if I come over here to my saved items on my navigation bar, the post is now saved. If I decide that I am done with that, I don't need it anymore, I can click that bookmark again, and that takes it out of my saved items. And finally, we have 3 little vertical dots or a snowman. And to click that, I can turn off notifications for replies. I can mark a post as being unread. I can ask for reminders. I can copy the link. I can pin this post to the channel, and we will have more about that later. I can edit this message, which I am going to do now. Let's say I want to be a little more formal. I want to type hello instead of hi. I will click Save Changes, but you can see that Slack also has a little note to the side that it's edited. So people do see that you have edited the post. Final option here that we will go over is delete message, because I do not want to clutter up the thread. I am going to go ahead and delete this message. And it does want me to confirm because it cannot undo the delete. So let's go down to direct messages at the bottom of the navigation column. For clarity's sake, I am currently in my personal Slack account and sent a message to myself from my work account for the sake of the demonstration. When I click on this, you can see I have the notification that there is a message. I can see all the direct messages sent between my work and my personal accounts. Other users, such as your fellow tutors, cannot see this message as this is only between you and the person that you are talking with. Let's go back to the navigation column. You might only use a few channels, or you might want to prioritize certain channels. To do this, you can star channels. You can see here I have digital literacy, fun chit chat, and the literacy blog labeled as starred. Now there are two ways to star channels. You can drag a channel up to the starred section. Let's bring math up to my starred section because math is always fun. Or let's go into science. Science is also fun. You can go into channel details. You'll see there's a little star next to the name of the channel. When I click that, it wants me to confirm that I'm moving it to starred. X out of that, and now math and science are both in my starred channels. Once I have the channels I want starred, I can come down here to the regular channel section and click this little triangle to collapse the section. This is useful if you want to keep your navigation simple. You can always click the triangle again to expand that section if you need to get to any of these other channels. Now, if I decide I don't want a channel to be starred, I can come back up to channel details, click the star again, and now it's back in the regular section. And I can also drag the channel back into the channel section. The channels are automatically alphabetized when you move them around. So we're in the literacy blog channel now to talk briefly about pinned messages. Unlike bookmarked posts and starred channels, which only you see, everyone sees pinned messages. For this reason, typically only staff will pin messages. You can see under the channel name, there is a little push pin, and it says one pinned. When I click on that, it brings up this post from the beginning of the channel. I'm also drawing your attention to this particular pin because it has guidelines for posting in Tutor Slack. There are other elements of Slack that we can customize. If you click on your user profile in the upper right-hand corner, you get a drop-down menu. I'm going to click on Preferences, and that brings up this menu. You can adjust when and how often you receive notifications. The left column is again for navigation. I encourage you to look through here and see what might make the experience more comfortable for you. For example, you can change what you see in the sidebar, or even change the color scheme of your display using themes. You have other options for accessibility, audio and video. Just look around and see what you think will make the experience more comfortable for you. Finally, I'd like to draw your attention to the Slack Help channel. There are some useful tips and tricks in here, and you can post questions about this space as well. If you're still confused, you're welcome to contact a member of staff who will be happy to answer your questions. We strongly encourage you to spend some time exploring the workspace and getting comfortable with it. Even if it seems new and challenging right now, once you're used to it, it'll be a valuable resource to you. Thank you for your time and for your continued support of our learners.